Sorry. Oh, there we go. This isn't noisy. All right. Good evening, everyone. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, and adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required by law. Specifically, the revised annual notice was emailed to the West Essex Tribune and the Star Ledger on January 2nd, 2024. The agenda and resolutions for the meeting are available on www.livingstonnj.org. Certain portions of this meeting may be closed to the public. You're coming on the microphone. For the purpose of personnel and/or other matters as outlined in the Sunshine Law. Decisions made and/or discussed in closed session will be made known to the public at a later time. Notice to members of the governing body and township staff, any use of electronic devices during this meeting shall be used solely for the purposes of township business, and any communications are subject to the Open Public Records Act. To the extent possible, this evening's Township of Livingston Council meeting will be live streamed via Facebook at www.facebook.com/Livingston Township NJ. Questions or comments will also be accepted by emailing livcomments@livingstonnj.org by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Each speaker should follow the rules of order in Livingston Code Section 2-15. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Bobtani?
Here.
Vieira?
Present.
Klein?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt?
Here.
Mayor Anthony?
Here. We're going to stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. I was informed by Eileen Fishman, she won't be here tonight for the Essex County updates. We don't have any proclamations or presentations tonight, but we do have a very nice story that a young lady here who was on the cover of the Bergen Record for a great project you did at the Newark Airport. And I know our Councilman Caton wants to say a few words about it.
Thank you, Mayor. So that's Sia Malhotra, and 11 years old. At age 8, I think, you started. You had an idea when mom and dad took you to Alaska and you said, oh, books are missing. Where are the children's books? So that idea grew into a library now, a lending library at Terminal A. And she worked with, of course, mom and dad's help for 3 years, went through all the procedures. The library is open for kids to take the book on their ride wherever they go and enjoy the books, right? So that's Chetan and that's Nisha. So Nisha Malhotra, and kudos to you guys, and awesome job, Sia. Very well done.
Awesome job.
Mayor, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
See, I just so I understand this, I think it's a fantastic job that you did, and it's really cool to hear this story that you started something at 8 years old and kept going until you were 11. Is the idea that, let's say, a kid is going to take a flight to Texas, that they would borrow a book on the way to Texas and then return the book when they get back to New Jersey? Is that the idea?
It is originally the idea, but if they can't, that's also fine, because I don't think anyone's really, if they're taking a long flight to Texas, I don't think they're going to really bother to return it. So, yeah.
So it's more for in-use, for in-terminal use at the airport? Is that the idea, that while you're waiting for 2 hours for your plane, that you have a book to look at?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the main idea.
But if you're not a speed reader, you could take it with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so they're using a lot of libraries helps. They have used Home Depot. They've engaged them. They all provided, charity services. So great work. It was an operation.
That's right. You're with Home Depot, right? There's a connection there? Wow, that's awesome. You partnered with Home Depot.
Are you expanding to other airports? I mean, I would think that if Home Depot was involved, probably you could ramp this up, huh?
Which is Terminal A, which is the refurbished one.
Right.
She's in the best terminal right now, right?
Yeah, well, we're taking baby steps. We're thinking to expand it to other terminals, but baby steps, we can't just be like, oh, hey, we're putting the library in LaGuardia now. No, we're putting it in JFK. No, baby steps, it has to be in other terminals first.
All
That's
right.
great, congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. Something the other airports are jealous of Newark Terminal A.
That's right. That's right. Terrific job. Thank you. Congratulations. Thanks. We're now up to the approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes, February 5th, 2024, regular and conference, and the February 5, 2024, closed session.
I'll
Is there a
second.
Second, thank you.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we're up to public comment on agenda items only.
Motion to open the meeting for public comments on agenda items.
Second.
Okay. Any opposed? No? Okay.
Seeing none, motion to close?
Second.
All right.
Wait,
What's that?
did we open the public portion?
We opened it
We opened it, and Councilman
Did it-
Klein closed it very quickly.
very quickly.
The mayor.
He had a good feeling,
I'm willing to reopen.
and he went with it. Right.
There's no one coming in the microphone.
Does anyone want to speak on public comment agenda items only? Please be aware that ordinance,
Yes.
that any ordinance on for second reading, there'll be a public hearing for those ordinances. And also, Resolution 24-098 has been pulled from the agenda. Seeing none, Mayor.
Okay. Good. We could go to opening the hearing on, all right, first ordinance, Carol?
Sure. Ordinance 3-2024 adopted a new section, Chapter 170-104.15, R-5S, Residence Overlay District.
I'll move it.
We actually, first we have to open the public
Yeah,
session.
I'd like a motion to open the public comment section.
Second.
Second? Okay.
Okay.
All in
All
favor?
in favor? Okay.
Hi, Mr. Mayor. Justin Alper, 56 Amherst Place. Is this going to replace Lifetime?
No,
No.
no. We have someone affiliated with Lifetown here.
Lifetown, yeah.
Lifetown.
No.
It is not.
Is this going to take on the affordable housing units that were supposed to be on Livingston Avenue that we authorized off of Livingston Avenue?
No, Mr. Abbott, this is part of our affordable housing plan.
Oh, thanks.
So
And
yes?
This is not the same property that discussion concerned,
Yeah, this is the Westminster Hotel.
and the Regal, this
And the Regal
particular
Bank.
one is.
Right, so
The vacant lot where the car dealership was the one that was the discussion on the South Livingston Avenue.
okay. The school board had a hearing at one of their meetings a few weeks ago about all the increases in taxes that would be necessary to support building out the schools. There has been no public conversation since the last 5-on-5, probably about 2 months ago. Had you guys been discussing it at the 2-on-2s? Is the school board ready to support this kind of housing?
Yeah, I mean, I've been part of these 2-on-2s for the last few months, and I'll go first. and then
Have there
Councilman.
been any recently?
There was one the last 3 weeks. Yeah, so every month when we meet, we go over the master list that was created by the town manager of all the units that have been already awarded and have already been approved here, and other ones that are possibly coming down the pike that we could be looking at for our next round of affordables that are coming up. So they are very aware of all that. We're also discussing Monmouth Court, which they're very interested in coming back, getting back to in their hands as well for additional schooling. So I think they're very well aware of it, and I think they're actually probably, and we also have a representative of this council on their long-range, what's it called, the facility, yeah, the long-term facility planning that they have on the meet. It was
So is
my-
the council happy with this, or is this being done under duress again? Are we being forced to do this? Is this settlement with a lawsuit, or?
Yeah, Ms. Rabbit, this was part of our fair share housing settlement, this project.
And are we happy with the numbers? What happened? Did they start with a high number and we ended up with a lower number
It
and
was
ended in
actually
the
a very
middle?
successful negotiation. The council, if Deputy Mayor wants to take the lead on it, but.
Yeah, this is actually one of the bigger ones that we've had. So the number that the group came in with was a very, very high number, and it was non-age restrictive for all the units. And we actually went back and forth on, I would say, at least a half a dozen meetings until we came up with what I think all of us are very, very pleased with. At that point, it was Mayor Vieira and myself at the meetings, where it was almost split 50-50. I might be off by 15 or 20 units. Between age restrictive and non-age restrictive. So obviously, the 55 and over units, the Board of Ed, doesn't have to worry about any units coming out. So this is actually a really good settlement for the town and for the Board of Education.
Do you know people who are 55 older in the town who want to move out to the state highway in the warehouse district back there? It doesn't seem like we have a real master plan, or...
Considering I'm in that age group, maybe.
Okay, more power to you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Rabbi, do you want to say a few words?
Hi, Rabbi Grossbaum.
Good evening, Zalman Grossbaum. I guess in this context, 10 Microlab Road next door to this property.
Good evening.
Wonderful to see everyone. Do want to speak in support of this project. And they're working very closely with us. And there's some changes to our property that will take place, but they're working very diligently to make sure that the children and the participants at Lifetown will not only be compensated for the properties that we're swapping, but there'll be a tremendous enhancement to the property at Lifetown, and we very much appreciate the diligence and the care that's going into making sure that this enhancement will take place. So thank you.
Great. Thank you for coming in.
Mayor, can I just say something?
Sure,
Just
sure, Council.
following up on Deputy Mayor Meinhardt's comments. When this project first came to us, there was no 55-plus conversation at all. And during the conversations that the town council had, that's when the 55-plus, because we are very cognizant of school children going to the school. So clearly, this project has a 55-plus component in it, and that clearly was the reason. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments on this ordinance? Seeing none.
I'd like to close the public section for this ordinance.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Now you need a motion to adopt, Mayor.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion from the council?
Nope. Seeing none.
Councilmember Babtani, recusing.
Councilman Batani is recused from these two ordinances. He wasn't here when they were introduced.
Councilmember Vieira.
Yes.
Councilmember Klein.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
Mayor Anthony.
Yes.
Ordinance 4-2023, adopting a new section, Chapter 170-106.1, RIAO-2, Residential Inclusionary Adult Overlay District 2.
We need a motion to open the public hearing.
I'd like to make a motion to open a public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Hi, Mr. Mayor, Justin Alpert, 56 Amherst Place. Again, moving 55-plus out on the state highway, I'm not sure that people really want to move out there. We should be, talking about developing the kind of town that people want to retire into, and certainly along the main drag, and developing healthy local commerce and culture. It doesn't seem like we have a real master plan for that warehouse area. We're putting up all kinds of things in all kinds of places. Housing next to self-storage and RV parking and next to the Public Works Department, and it doesn't seem to really be part of a master plan. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Zalman Grossbaum, 10 Microlab Road again. Just as the neighbor to what's now the Westminster Hotel, and as everybody's familiar, the Westminster Hotel has not been as busy as it was in the past with the clientele that we should have as a neighbor. We are very, very much looking forward to this incredible enhancement to the properties neighboring the important center that Lifetown is. And there's even some talk about the possibility of respite housing that will be able to take place within that facility to give individuals, families that have crises, to be able to help them in those moments of crisis with temporary housing for their children, supported housing. So there's opportunities here that will tremendously enhance, just on a personal level, our center, and aesthetically, and as neighbors, we look forward to this enhancement. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments on ordinance?
Close the
Motion to
public-
close the public
Second.
hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Motion to adopt,
Motion to
Mayor?
adopt.
Is there a second?
A second.
Okay. All in favor?
No, roll call. Councilmember Baptani is recused.
That's correct.
Councilmember Vieira.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
Mayor Anthony.
Yes.
Ordinance 5-2024, amending Chapter 274, Streets and Sidewalks.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to table and reschedule a public hearing to the next meeting.
Absolutely. Is there a second?
Second.
You need a roll call, Mayor, unless there's any discussion.
Any
Oh.
discussion?
Do we need discussion at table?
Roll call. Councilmember Baptani.
Yes.
Vieira.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
Mayor Anthony.
Yes.
Madam Clerk, the public hearing will be,
March 11th, thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Public hearing for March 11th. Ordinance 6-2024, amending and supplementing Chapter 29, Traffic and Parking.
Okay. Motion to open the public hearing?
Motion, okay. Motion to open public hearing?
Second? Any-
Second.
Great. All in favor? Yes. Yes. Okay.
Seeing none, motion to close public hearing?
Second.
That was very fast, Councilman Meinhardt.
You didn't give anyone a chance to respond.
One specific thing, okay? Not on all the not.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
What do we have to roll call?
motion to adopt.
Oh, motion to adopt.
Was there discussion?
Well,
Is there
first,
discussion?
let's move it to adopt, and
Okay,
then
then
second,
discussion,
and
okay.
then we can have discussion.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Any discussion, council members?
Mayor?
See none? Oh,
One of the things that I'm really excited about in this ordinance is that we are opening up these committees, and we talked about this before, to high school students in town. So, there's a lot of smart people, and, we always talk about how great the volunteers are in every facet of all these committees that work for the town, and we're now going to be able to tap into our high school students as part of those committees. I think their energy and their work ethic will enhance all the committees they participate in, but they will also learn a lot. There's any variety of subjects can be tapped into by these committees, and I'm looking forward and very excited to see what our students bring to the town and can help contribute.
So, Councilman,
That's
your
a- it is in this
recitation
ordinance.
was for the next
That
ordinance.
was,
Wrong ordinance.
I'm sorry.
that was on the traffic. They're terrific on,
But Madam Clerk will put in the record for the
Yeah,
next
can you
ordinance.
please
Stop
report that for the next one?
Yeah.
You're 2 for 2 tonight.
I said forget it, he's on a roll.
Give him some glasses.
Just, what's the legal maneuver to include that for the next,
You got to repeat it verbatim.
Carol will include it in the notes, in the notes for the next ordinance.
No, we wanted to repeat that whole thing again.
Right.
Verbatim.
Verbatim.
Oh, my
All right, Mayor, you need a roll
Okay,
call.
yes, Councilmember Baptani.
Yes.
Vieira.
Yes.
Klein.
I'm also in favor of this one, yes.
Right, passionately.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
Mayor Anthony.
Yes.
Ordinance 7-2024, amending and supplementing Chapter 6 of the Township Code by creating Article 7 entitled Rules Applicable to All Committees.
Okay. Motion to open the public
Motion to open
hearing?
the public.
Second.
Okay.
Motion to close public hearing?
Second.
On- Did you want to say anything? You've made your comment? Okay.
You have to say roll call.
We gotta move it. Hold on.
Everybody in favor of closing?
Wait,
So
Jared?
currently, Mayor, I think you have an open public session. I think there was a motion. I don't know if there was a second to close it.
Second.
And then, Mayor, all in favor vote?
all in favor?
Yes.
And now, Mayor, you
Motion to
need a
adopt.
motion to adopt.
I just made
Is
it.
there a second?
Second.
Motion to adopt? Okay. Discussion? I think Councilman Klein has said it. Just from a personal perspective, the LEC does have, we did a great job last year. I think the two students on the LEC have been a wonderful addition, and I look forward to the students and younger people contributing to all our committees. So thank you, Councilman Klein. Good job. Wrong ordinance, but good. All right.
Roll call. Councilmember Bottani.
Yes.
Viera.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
Mayor Anthony.
Yes.
Ordinance 9-2024, appropriation of $5,475,000 for various improvements.
Motion to open public hearing?
Second?
Anyone?
All in
Seeing
favor?
none.
Aye.
Oh,
Motion to close public hearing?
Second?
all in favor?
Yes.
Motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Any discussion?
Any discussion?
Roll call, Madam
Now
Clerk.
roll.
Maybe if we can have a quick summary,
Yeah.
that would be a good transparency, I think, for those who are listening in. In other words, what are we including here?
Yeah, so this is, and generally, we try and do our initial general capital ordinance early, so a lot of these projects can get underway. And this particular ordinance includes funding for acquisition of computers and communications equipment, servers, storage, computers, that's through our IT department. There is a number of money appropriated for a new apparatus for the fire department, as well as some capital improvements, roof repairs and replacements to the fire department and other public buildings. This also includes funding for design and improvements of sidewalks, and also a number of vehicles and equipment for the Public Works Department.
Thank you, Barry.
Any other discussion? No? Roll call.
Councilmember Bottani.
Yes.
Viera.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
Mayor Anthony.
Yes. All right, that brings us to the consent agenda for the resolutions.
All matters listed on the agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial by this council and be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be moved from the consent agenda and considered in the normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. For the record, Resolution 24-098 has been removed from the agenda. Would any council members request any other resolutions to be removed for separate discussion and voting?
101, can we pull out?
Okay.
Any other resolutions? Mayor, you need a motion to approve the remaining items on the consent agenda.
I'll make
Is
a
there a
motion.
motion? Second?
You don't want me to read
Ed?
them?
It's okay.
Okay.
Do you want to read them?
All in favor?
No,
I need a
it's a
roll
roll
call,
call.
Mayor.
Roll call.
Need a roll call.
All right.
Councilmember Bottani.
Yes.
Viera.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
Mayor Anthony.
Yes.
And now, Mayor, you need a motion to approve Resolution 24-101, NJDCA Grant Athletic Fields at Oakner Parkway.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 24-101?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I just, there's been some talk, this is actually an additional, to small dollar amount, to work with, Barry, you want to give a little explanation, what's been going on with Jeanette and the engineering on the fields, you know, the delay that,
So this actually, oddly, we were advised of the $1.5 million funding, but then for paperwork purposes, they're having us file a grant application. So that's what this application
Okay.
is
Do you
for.
want-
But in
explain why
regard
there's
to
been a
that,
little
the
delay, please.
design and review of that, because it is adjacent to the stream over there, the river, there are DEP considerations and certain setbacks, so the engineers have been working and negotiating with DEP. They currently have a plan that they believe is going to be accepted by DEP, and that's been sort of the delay, if there's been one. Yeah.
you know, I just, you know, we've been working hard, and as people who have dealt with DEP, in the past and certainly now and in the future have understand sometimes the frustrations that you can have with getting information and getting stuff out of DEP. So I do want to just, call out the engineering department, Jeanette Harvey, and Rocco as well. I know Rocco's like Marucci, and all their hard work that they're doing as well to get this field up and running. So we're looking forward to it as soon as possible. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you,
Roll call
Councilman.
vote? We need a
Need a
roll
roll
call.
call.
Yeah, I was just wondering if anybody else had a comment.
Oh, any other comments? No?
I was just asked to have it pulled out because I think it's just worth highlighting that the town's still pursuing this, and I know that Councilman Meinhardt is actually, was very instrumental in getting the ball rolling on this, and, it's still moving forward, and hopefully it's going to be ready to go soon.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Roll call.
Roll call. Councilmember Battani,
Yes.
Viera,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Meinhardt,
Yes.
Mayor Anthony.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I know we already said it, but I also when, last year, when Councilman Vieira was the mayor, he was also helpful in going to the meetings as well and helping with the money that was allocated as well. So thank you, Michael, as
Thank
well.
you, Deputy Mayor.
All right.
Second public portion, Mayor. You need a motion to open the second
Yeah,
public portion.
open the meeting to public portion on any item.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
The meeting is now open to the public for 3 minutes on any topic.
Hi, Mr. Mayor. Justin Alper, 56 Amherst Place. Concerned about business that is done outside of the public hearing. What are the rules around communications amongst the council? Does the council have a private text message amongst the council where they communicate at all?
Mr. Alper, the council is subject to Open Public Meetings Act, so
So does the council have a text message amongst the council members that they participate in? That a majority participates in?
there shouldn't be.
Okay. And what about emails? Is there any substantive planning with regard to resolutions in emails as opposed to in public session?
I could tell you as my time as council that there is no communications amongst the 5 council members, and they are always advised not to violate OMA by replying to emails that are sent to all of them.
Okay. Under what circumstances is the council allowed to hold a resolution without offering opportunity for public input?
There is no requirement of public input under the Open Public Meetings Act. However, this council does have a public portion prior to agenda items, which is not required. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, we're only required to have 1 public session. I sit in 5 towns. Sometimes, some towns do 2, some towns do it at the end. I think this council is very transparent in that they do 1 before agenda items and 1 at the end of the meeting.
Right, but sometimes they have the option to opt out of a public hearing before a resolution is voted on, correct?
Yes, Mr. Albert, if they wanted to, they could take things out of order.
Well, and to be clear, there's not opting out of a public hearing because, as Mr. Cantor explained, there is no public hearing statutorily required on a resolution. They could do it with no hearing at all, but the council does offer the opportunity to anyone in the public to have a public session to speak to anything on the agenda before they act. So that is, in effect, your opportunity.
Because that's best practice?
And I don't want to take your time, but like even tonight, we had a gentleman in the conference meeting who made a point, and the council reacted to it prior to. So they do take public comment before.
So it's best practice to offer opportunity for public hearing before
I
a
don't think we've ever
resolution?
not done that, right? I mean, does anyone remember a time when we didn't take public comment before? On all agenda items, right? We always do that before.
Again,
The last public
it's
hearing?
not required, and there could be some, it's not required, and there could be some rationale in not doing it, like to allow a council member to participate in the full meeting, like the last meeting. But typically, there is no requirement, Mr. Alpert.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Michelle Amin, 6 Washington Court. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the paving going on in town. So I live on Washington Court, which is a small street, for those that don't know, between North Ashby and Congressional. When we first moved to town, it was a little bit of a speed shortcut for a lot of cars, and they would race down. So I requested through the citizen service request online to look into having speed bumps or something to put on there, but then I was told that speed bumps aren't possible because it messes with the snow plows during the winter. So over the years, what's happened is the street is a disaster. There's cracks and there's holes. So aside from the fact that it's a curve, and at that curve it's very dangerous, now we have holes. So throughout the last several years, I put in a request to have the street looked at for paving, and now there's this huge project across town. And only recently did I get a couple answers that an independent consultant was brought in to work with the engineering department to look at the 190 miles of township roads. And it seems that each of the roads were graded a certain way. But again, I don't really understand exactly how it happened and how it graded. I'm not an engineer, and I don't see any documents. But for Washington Court, I was told that it's basically graded in the 50s, and a street like North Ashby is graded in the 30s. So North Ashby is going to be done in 2024, but Washington Court is not on the horizon. So what we have is we have the two guys from Public Works that drive around in their truck. Really nice guys, diligent workers. They come and they fill the holes in their Band-Aids. But by the next week, the street is cracked. So now what we're dealing with is we're dealing with cars that come down too fast because I don't have speed bumps. Or we're not getting speed bumps. And I'm dealing with cracks on the street that the spring is going to come, kids are riding their bikes. So for sure, the bikes are going to go in the cracks and the kids are going to fall off, mine and others. So then when I requested if Washington Court could be surveyed again, they told me that I have to come to you guys because it was already surveyed and graded in the 50s, which doesn't warrant it being done in 2024. So you guys have to approve if Washington Court can be resurveyed, because I'm wondering if the trucks are coming to do North Ashby and we're a small little street right there, logic would tell me, and again, not an engineer, not a paver, why couldn't they just take care of Washington Court? It's a small street. Because what would happen is, regardless, I'm getting cars going too fast. Regardless, my kids are not playing really close. We've never played in the front, right? But now, in addition to that, I'm dealing with North Ashby will be beautiful. Cars are going to come. Washington Court is still going to be cracked. We have that little curve closer to Congressional, which there's bound to be an accident because a car is going to swerve one way to get rid of the holes and the other car is going to come the other way. So it's dangerous, it's really unseemly, and so I'm wondering if I could request you guys to please look into this and possibly open up the option of the Washington Court being reevaluated for 2024. Sorry, I went over.
That's fine. Barry, can we reevaluate?
Yeah,
it?
I can certainly speak to the town engineer and have him revisit this, take a look at it. I understand where you're coming from in terms of if they're already in the area, so we will take a look.
All right.
Tim Foley, 16 Mount Pleasant Parkway. I want to thank all of you for tabling that ordinance to look at it a little bit more. One thing I do want to bring up, and she actually reminded me about it, all the building these new homes, or knocking them down and building all these homes, all the road work that they're doing, do we have anything that the utilities have to come back and repave the holes that they create? I mean, we just did Belmont last summer, and then the summer before that, the other half. And there's a nice big crater, brand new paved road, not even a year old, by Arden. Arden? I believe it. It's one of the main road, the intersection right by the high school. I'm having a moment right now, but it's a really long trench. And are the utilities supposed to come back and fix the roadways?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're obligated. First, we attempt, if we're going to redo a road, to reach out to them ahead of time to do any work. Sometimes, obviously, though, there's an emergency. They have to come out even after you just paved a road. They are required to restore it. They have a bond, a blanket bond posted. They have to come back again. There's a guarantee that, because the trenches do settle, and to come back out and do it, compact it again.
Okay,
So I'll
who
make a
actually
note of this.
goes out and checks those? Because even West Cedar Street was done about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's like a landmine now again.
I will follow up. It's done through the engineering department. They have a public works inspector.
Okay.
That goes out, okay.
So, yeah, with all these new homes that are being knocked down and rebuilt,
And the one you were just,
All these new paved roads are getting dug up because of the new services going into these houses, so. But,
Okay.
yeah, I'd like to
the
look
ones,
into that.
the one you said is on Belmont?
Yeah, Tim, did you say Belmont?
Belmont,
Arden's up further that way. Yeah, Belmont is
The road
it
that goes into the high school,
Berkeley?
I'm at.
Ashby actually crosses.
Taconic?
Belmont.
Ashby?
Or Berkeley?
Thank you.
Taconic?
Taconic's
Taconic.
right there, yep.
Yeah, that brand-new house that they just finished.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's a reverse speed bump.
Yeah. You
Mayor-
fall in it, right.
Mayor, Tim is actually right, but Barry,
Inverted,
can you
actually.
also put on that list Cliffside Drive? Cliffside Drive was only paved probably less than a couple of months ago, and I've already seen a hole over in there. I just passed it yesterday. I'm like, this was just brand-new paving, and there's already a utility hole over there.
Okay.
Now, are they required to infrared that?
I'd have to defer to engineering on that.
Okay.
I don't know what the exact
Because that
requirements are.
newly paved, I mean, most of you know who I work for. There are machines out there that infrared it, it's basically melts the new stuff to the,
To here.
it adheres it,
Yeah.
so it's a
Yeah, I
better
mean, I'm
seal. than
familiar
just-
with that. I don't know what we require, but
Right.
I'll find out.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Barry, I'm going to add to that. I think it's Oakwood. It's right by Kings.
Right.
Was that a League of Women Voters Zoom not that long ago, and it said the holes there are
Okay.
big.
They are.
You know it, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's big there.
Yeah. So can we look into that? Thanks. All right. Any other public comment?
Motion to close
Mayor,
public comment?
There's two live comments tonight, Mayor.
Oh,
sorry.
Thank you.
The first live comment is from Eric Tucker, Livingston resident. He asked, can you please provide an update on the Broad Lawn Drive flooding issue?
Barry, do we have?
We're
anything?
in the process of we had obtained a quote. We're getting another quote for Broad Lawn. So as soon as we get the second quote, the first one was below the bid threshold, so we know we'll be able to award without having to go out to bid. Awaiting the second quote, as soon as that comes in, that's to clean underneath the whole underpass. In addition, we did award tonight in another section, significant stream cleaning contract, which ultimately they're all connected and would, may or may not have some impact on that one as well.
Thank you, Barry.
The second live
Karen.
comment is from a non-resident, Amy Lou. She says, hello, Town Council. Longtime viewer, first-time writer, thank you for all you do for this town. My husband and I are curious about tonight's agenda, Ordinance 3-2024, about the overlay district. It looks like the goal of this ordinance is to attract empty nesters. My family moved out of Livingston when our kids grew up, but we miss the town and what it has to offer. We would love to come back, and we are curious if there will be options for empty nesters to buy and rent or just rent. We also saw a proposal for an outdoor pool and recreational property as part of the ordinance. Will that be limited to use for only people who live in the complex, or will there be an option to join? Will that pool be on the Bottle King site or somewhere else? While I have your attention, my family, including my kids, want to know what this council is doing to help our former swim coach, Kevin Mullaney. We have seen what's happened with Kevin online, and our heart breaks for him. Kevin is a young man who grew up in this town and who touched so many lives in Livingston. We wonder why the town council is not addressing what's happening to Kevin or doing anything to help Kevin. I believe you all know Kevin, and even my kids are confused why you've allowed this to go on. We teach our kids to stand up for what's right, and that's what our hero swim coach did. Livingston looks to you, your lead. My questions about the overlay district are for the whole council, but my question about Kevin is to new Councilman Baptani, because none of the previous council members have seemed to care about him. Please give us some info about the overlay district and about how we can help Kevin and bring an end to this problem. Thank you.
Any others?
No, Mayor, you can entertain a motion to close.
What's that?
You can entertain a motion to close.
Okay.
Motion to close?
I'll entertain a
So
motion.
I would like
close.
to add a
yes.
quick comment.
Close first.
It was as it was acknowledged. I'm a new council member, but I am trying to get up to speed on all matters. I do attend the closed sessions to understand the matter under litigation and try to get the facts. So yes, this is important for me. Each allegation, each item is important for me. So that's how much I can say right now. And on the advice of the council, I think I will be looking for what are the next steps for me as well. Thank you.
So Councilman, to that point, I'll be updating the council tonight in closed session on the litigation related to Kevin Mulaney. It's one of the closed session topics for tonight.
Great. Thank you, counsel. All right. Motion, any other public comment? No? Motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second?
Second. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
All right. We're now up to reports of township officials and council members. Let's start. Ann, anything, or?
Nothing to report at this time. Thanks, Mayor.
Great, thanks. Adam?
Nothing to report.
All right. Barry?
Nothing tonight, thanks.
Russ? All right. Flying. Michael?
I'm good.
All right. No, sorry. Yeah, I'll come back. We'll do that over again. I'm still good. Wait. Carolyn?
Nothing from me, Mayor, thank you.
No. Jared?
Mayor, so for tonight, for closed session, I've already described, I have the litigation update on the Mulaney matter. I also have a fair share housing update regarding some properties.
Thank you, Jared. Okay, so, Caton?
And the first one.
Yeah, I guess, and
Okay.
then Mike, right?
Yeah, so a couple of things. I think first I'll reiterate the young champion who was here did a lot of good work, Sia Malhotra. So that was great to hear. I would also like to acknowledge the event that was held in front of the town hall where there were hundreds of empty seats put up. It was very sombering to see what happened on October 7th and how it was elegantly displayed and it was remembered. So thank you for the organization to put that up, and was really moving experience for myself. One other comment on what is now called as Affordable Housing Bill, in Assembly Bill 4, Senate Bill 50. Quite disappointed that the township and the concerns needs to be heard more. There has to be more opportunities for our residents to voice their concerns. I'm hoping the Senate in Trenton gives more opportunity, and there's a process where our residents have a voice and that gets delivered. I think I'm absolutely for affordable housing. It is an important topic, and we need to be looking at equality in our society. But it should not come at a point where it is helping or trying that whatever community is targeting, it just breaks its fabric. And it's there in front of our eyes. So I think that is where my focus is going to be to try and see if we can create more opportunities for our residents to be heard. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Mike?
You know, I for a couple seconds for that delay, I did think of something. I just want to thank everybody. Yesterday, I celebrated my 5-year anniversary on the council.
Oh, yeah.
So I do want to thank all of the residents, and I've had a very enjoyable time, and I look very forward to working for many more years to come. So thank you very much to everyone out there.
Great. Something Caton said reminded you of that? Yes, Councilman Klein?
Just a couple points. Actually, Caton kind of touched on both of the things I was going to talk about. One of them is, and I know the rest of this council has been, we've received a lot of emails with people who are, concerned about our government's response, and even on the local level about how we talk about October 7th and what happened and the hostages. And certainly, I would just want to say in response to those emails that this is something that's personally of a great concern to me, and I know it is on the rest of the council also. It is something we think about all the time, and we appreciate those emails, so thank you for sending them. The other item I wanted to talk about was that the mayor and I have had a couple of, I think, very productive meetings. The first was with our assembly representatives in Trenton, and the second was with our Senate representative. And we strongly advocated with our state representatives about our concerns with affordable housing and about our concerns with this assembly bill that's coming forward, which may not be advantageous for this township. And we want to see changes, and we're on Zooms with the representatives from Short Hills as well, or Milburn. And we spoke to our representatives, and we laid out strong cases for changes that we'd like to see made. We gave a couple of specifics in terms of options that could decrease the counts that the township would have to be responsible for in overall housing. And there was some receptive comments, and we're hoping that in the end, that some of these discussions will bear fruit, and that whatever comes down the pipe and then signed by the governor ends up being a better bill because of the discussions that we had. So, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor?
Thank you very much. I also just want to echo what Councilman Patani and Councilman Klein said. We did receive a whole bunch of letters over the weekend. I can tell you that I personally feel very strongly about what is happening right now in the Middle East, and we pray for peace. I am encouraged by what I heard on the news a couple hours ago with a potential negotiations of some type of ceasefire that could be coming down the pike by this weekend. That was encouraging before I left the House to come here this evening. But we do appreciate all the letters that we've received, and you know that we understand them, and we certainly support those letters. And as also for the fair share, I happened to be I was invited to go to Trenton 2 weeks ago today on a Monday when it was Holocaust Remembrance Day, and I happened to be there for the ceremony that took place on the legislative floor. And so I just happened to be there for the debate that took place. And I found out to be extremely interesting as well, listening to the 80 representatives debate the legislative bill that passed, unfortunately passed in a unanimous way. And hopefully the Senate will come back with some ideas that I know councilmen and the mayor have put together and other people have put together, and hopefully that could be included in the bill. But it is very discouraging for us here having to think about going through a fourth round and going through some of those numbers, because I think none of us, like you said very eloquently, are against fair share. But there comes a point where we have to think about what's fair as well and what's share for this town. And I know we've done a wonderful job in this round. Our attorney, Jared Cantor, has led us through a lot of those negotiations, and we thank him for that, and you still are. But there is a time that the township has to get involved and has to have their words, have their voices heard as well, and I certainly appreciate the fact that you're going to help with those causes, so thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I guess some of this is duplication. Thank you. With all the emails and letters we've received, on October 7th, you do have a council that cares about every letter we receive, and also whether you grab my ear at the community center. I'm looking at, whether it's at Chess and Bagels, there I go mentioning it again. But it's a great Saturday morning activity.
I just want to
from
congratulate
10
the
to
mayor
12.
on being a fifth grader twice.
Twice, and a sixth grader once.
Sorry for jumping in there, but I just want to congratulate you.
3 victories. I've lost to every adult so far. But the bagels are tremendous, and great job by everyone involved. So yes, thank you keep those coming, even though it's an international, national event. We're very concerned about how we respond at the local level, and thanks for mentioning that. As far as there is, it's A4. It was Assembly Bill on affordable housing, and I thank all our council members, including Councilmember Klein, of setting up some meetings with our representatives, and unfortunately, we thought A4 had flaws in it, and we pointed out a bunch of the problems with it. Unfortunately, it was passed. I appreciate the Senate looking at S50 now, I believe is the companion bill, and our state senator, John McKeon, took the time to answer our questions and consider our concerns with that bill. And I appreciate everyone. Caton, even brand new, was voicing his concerns on. It's just such an important bill for our town. So we need to reach out as a council, but reach out to your state legislators as well on that issue. And I want to thank you, Caton. Thank you so much for our star in the Bergen Record. That was so nice. And anyone, if anyone ever has anything impromptu to do like that, and someone's sitting here, please let me know so we could throw accolades on where it's deserved. And also, one other thing, we had a chamber event a few weeks ago. Great job by Monty Aaronkrantz and the Chamber of Commerce. And thank you for council members for coming there, and it kind of set forth a little bit of the vision for our businesses going forward. It was covered by the local media, so I thank all the businesses, and we are a committed council to work with them going forward. So I think that's it. Any other comments? Which one? We did have 2 new ribbon cuttings within the last couple of weeks, and I am told many more to come. So, and thank you, Councilman, for joining in right away. Anything else? No? Good. All right, now, I'll entertain a motion to go into closed.
You have a motion to, yeah, we're in opening conference, so we're going to go into conference, and then we'll make the motion to go into closed out of conference.
Okay. Anything else out here? No?
No, Mayor.
Thank you,
So
council.
we'll be
Good
continued
council.
in open in the conference meeting to conclude the conference
Great.
meeting.
Thank you.
But no further action will be taken by this council tonight other than to approve the closed session resolution.
Great. Thank you.